fighter. I mean, look at him. He fighting pay-per-view, knocking these dudes out. That don't take away the fact that I can beat this dude. It don't take away from the fact that this dude know he can't beat me. Send the contract over, or we send the contract to him. However it go, tell him to fight me. That dude get to feeling himself and feeling like he's something that he's not. And to the world, he look like a killer, but I can't wait. I'm gonna expose him. I promise you, I'm gonna expose him. I'm gonna be the person that he going there, he not gonna knock out. He not gonna hurt. He gotta go 12 rounds with somebody, and somebody gonna be beating him. He ain't gonna like that. It's with his heart. That's gonna with his head. Watch.
No thoughts. People can talk that type. No contract inside. I would pay attention to that.
I answer that.
I gotta get you to answer this. What he said about you.
Yeah, he can't. My opinion. It's my opinion.
Listen, all that sound good right now, but when the fight is made and the fight about to happen,
Tank is not playing this Murray man.
He know what time
that bell ring.
1 minute he on this side, 1 minute he is. So
when that bell ring, Tank ain't playing this Murray man.
Kenny Ellis and Calvin Ford dismissed the claim that Shakur Stevenson can dictate the pace or outmaneuver Gervonta Davis, firmly stating that Davis will not be pulled into anyone's strategy or forced to fight on their terms.
Does he really think he's not gonna get touched?
So, if he don't get touched, I'll never ever train fighters again.
I ain't seen him fight nobody that was a killer already.
And everybody he fought touched him. Everybody.
Let's really look at when you talk about them guys. Who did they fight was that next to kill? You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying?
I feel what you're saying.
How do you have Bob Arm too? Because he's not gonna let that happen.
I just gonna pay attention to them. When they start fighting first, of course you're gonna want to fight Tank. They know Tank is the best right now. They know. But goddamn, fight somebody that's up under him.
But that confidence also raises concerns. Calvin Ford doubts the benefit of pairing Gervonta Davis with Shakur Stevenson, and while he acknowledges Stevenson's technical skills, he believes Stevenson would slow the pace and avoid extended exchanges, potentially removing the explosive action fans are hoping for.
He's the better boxer. That's why I always make this. He would make the fight boring just to win.
Right. Yeah, I think you would too.
Dude, I want to put Youngin in that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't make sense. Because fans come to see what? A fight. Let's go look at Shakur's last fight.
Another contrasting perspective emerges as Oscar de la Hoya describes Gervonta Davis as a relentless, elite-level fighter shaped by discipline and intense preparation. He believes Davis approaches every bout in top condition, keeping him a constant danger once he steps inside the ring.
Gervonta Davis is, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter. He's a dedicated fighter when it comes to training and fighting and making sure that he's in optimal conditions when he steps inside that square.
That's where the matchup becomes complicated. Roy Jones Jr. sees Gervonta Davis's movement and ring intelligence as a serious threat to any opponent, while also believing Shakur Stevenson can control range and dictate the tempo. He expects Davis to take risks to close the distance, which could turn the fight into a dangerous and highly unpredictable battle.
Shakur Stevenson going to be a problem for anybody because of that back foot game. He has an awesome back foot game. If you got a good back foot game like that and you understand boxing like he understands it, he's going to make it rough for anybody. But, Tank is a different animal too. So, it's a great fight. That's why everybody want to see it. We can't just look at it and say, oh, he going to win, oh, he going to win. No. We already know that Shakur going to stay back. Tank going to gamble some, do what he wants. And that's going to make it big.
You think Gervonta Davis can knock him out?
Maybe.
That contrast begins to highlight the true challenge in this matchup. Teddy Atlas views Shakur Stevenson as a master of distance, using precise footwork and timing to stay just out of range while landing accurate, controlled shots. He questions whether that approach can hold up against Gervonta Davis, who applies constant pressure, cuts off the ring, and attacks the body to gradually break opponents down and limit their movement.
Do his thing. Control range. You come in 6 inches, he goes back 8.5, and he counters, and he controls space in that ring. And he's a ghost. He's a ghost in that ring. He fights that style. He's that pitcher I talk about on the baseball diamond that disarms you, that takes the bat out of your hands, that hits corners, mixes up the speeds. just doesn't allow you, keeps you off balance, doesn't allow you to get a good swing at him. Could he do that with Tank Davis, who's patient, who's deliberate, who knows how to hunt you down, who knows how to shrink a ring, who knows how to properly apply pressure without leaving himself wide open, who knows how to use a jab to get it, who knows how to go to the body to take some of the legs away, take some of the air out of the tires. That's the fight I would like.
That only adds to the intrigue surrounding this matchup. Greg Hackett sees the clash as a high-level showdown between two elite fighters with contrasting strengths, believing one carries dangerous knockout power while the other depends on sharp precision and timing, creating a well-balanced and compelling fight.
Great fight. It's definitely a great fight. Two skilled fighters. One has great power, one has great accuracy, great timing. Great fight. I hope it can happen.
But that narrative begins to shift when experience speaks. Terrence Crawford views Shakur Stevenson as a highly skilled and disciplined fighter built on defense and ring control, believing Gervonta Davis won't land as cleanly because Stevenson minimizes openings and forces opponents to miss.
Shakur is a different fighter. Shakur is different. People may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they say the same thing about Floyd. Because they defensive fighters.
Yeah.
Tank is not going to be able to hit Shakur like he hit everybody else. And he know that. He knows that. That's why he's boring. He's this, he's that. He's trying to diminish everything that Shakur have done so it's not marketable. But he can't do that because Shakur is three-weight world champion.
Analyzing the matchup, Roy Jones Jr. leans toward Shakur Stevenson, pointing to his consistent discipline both inside and outside the ring. He believes that reliability gives Stevenson an edge, while Gervonta Davis presents a different level of danger that keeps the result far from certain.
Shakur wins it because of his discipline, because he showed against Teofimo that he can stay very disciplined all night. And he's the type of guy, he don't really do a lot of crazy stuff in his life normally, so it's like discipline is a thing that is not only exercised inside the ring, it's exercised also outside the ring. And as we see, sometimes Gervonta has problems with discipline, but we have never seen Shakur have problems with discipline. We've seen him be more disciplined at right times than we've seen him not have discipline. So with the fight being like it is right now, I would lean towards Shakur because of his discipline, but don't get twisted. If somebody could beat him, Tank Davis would be that person because of his intangibles.
That's where the fight takes a sharp turn. Terrence Crawford, drawing from his experience at the highest level, acknowledges Gervonta Davis as a skilled and dangerous puncher, but still leans toward Shakur Stevenson in this matchup. He believes Stevenson's tight defense will neutralize those fight-ending shots, pushing Davis into uncomfortable and unfamiliar territory.
Tank is great for what he do, and I respect Tank in the ring and his skills and his power and his attribute and he's smart.
Yeah.
He's definitely smart. He can box off. And I'm not saying I would pick Shakur just because our differences. I'm telling you as a fighter.
Yeah.
I will pick Shakur because I don't believe Tank will be able to land those big shots on Shakur like he does everybody else.
Right.
Shakur defense is just too tight.
That's why this matchup feels inevitable. Eddie Hearn has consistently backed Shakur Stevenson to overcome Gervonta Davis, pointing to his strong belief in Stevenson's ability at the highest level. He sees it as a showdown between two elite fighters in their prime, one that demands to happen.
I think Shakur can beat Tank. We've known it for ages. I have so much confidence of Shakur Stevenson beating Gervonta Davis. But they're two of the best lightweights in the world. They're two of the best fighters in America. It's a natural fight to...
The conversation takes a more tactical turn as Mike Tyson views a potential clash between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis as a highly strategic fight that demands constant pressure. He warns that giving Stevenson space or taking time to study him will allow Stevenson to break opponents down gradually and take control over the course of the fight.
Tank, oh God, I don't even. It's gonna be interesting because if
if Shakur handles this guy like he did Lopez, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say the hell with Shakur, man. If he just handles this guy like he's, I'm like, hell with him. Somebody gotta give him a fight though, but you gotta be very sophisticated to know how to fight. This is when I know you lost against Shakur. This is when I know you lost. You see when he does this stuff? Once you start doing this stuff and looking at him, oh, it's over. You got constant action, motion, constant motion again. You gotta be on him constantly. Once you start looking at him and doing that, he ain't dead. He's gonna pick you up.
At the same time, a different strength comes into focus. Oscar De La Hoya believes Gervonta Davis stands out because of his rare combination of skill and willingness to engage. Seeing Davis embrace the risks of trading shots while trusting his ability to adjust and break opponents down, ultimately turning danger into dominance.
Like I said, is very skillful. He's a beast. He knows how to figure you out. But one thing about Tank, which I love, and this is why he's gonna be great, because he fights. And when you fight, you're gonna get hit. And when you fight, you're gonna get hit and you might get knocked out. But that's the beauty about Tank.
That's why they love him.
He fights, and that's why they love him. That's a perfect example.
Right.
Tank Davis is a star.
That's where the fight could shift. Timothy Bradley, drawing from his experience, sees Shakur Stevenson becoming overly cautious under pressure, which can limit his offense. He believes Gervonta Davis will capitalize on that hesitation, stepping forward with confidence if he isn't being made to pay.
He's not, when you put heat on him, he's so damn defensive that he don't throw punches. There's nothing in return. So you're able to mount an attack on him and let your hands go, and you're not going to receive any counter punches coming back. You know, I think Tank sees that. I think Tank knows that. So as long as those counters don't come, Tank's gonna be in there. You know, as long as he's not willing to risk getting caught, Tank's gonna be in the fight.
A different perspective comes into focus as Mike Tyson recognizes Gervonta Davis as a rare force when fully focused, giving him an edge that few fighters can match. He still acknowledges the technical threat of Shakur Stevenson, but views Davis's raw intensity as the key difference maker.
He's a great fighter. He is a great fighter. You know, especially when he's serious about it. You know, I don't know if he's as serious as he used to be, but when he was serious, he was a hell of a fighter. And nobody came close. He's the only one I gave a chance against. Shakur and that guy, Keyshawn Davis, they're scary fighters too, because they're sophisticated. The other guy's sophisticated and mean, but Tank is just a force of nature. You know, you just gotta give him the credit. You know, even though he's talking and stuff, he's man.
And that's what pushes the stakes beyond the ring. Shakur Stevenson, speaking as one of the top fighters in the division, is convinced that a clash with Gervonta Davis must happen. He believes that when two elite fighters are at the peak of the sport, avoiding each other isn't an option unless one of them declines or falls out of form.
It's kind of bigger than boxing, I guess you could say, because like the history and like everything that went on. It's hard to even speak on it just because of the fact that we gotta fight. So at the end of the day,
you feel that's gonna happen?
Yeah, I know it's gonna happen. I mean, I'm the best, he the best. So when you got two guys that's the best, how can you not fight? Only way you could not fight if one of them guys ain't like that and somebody go off to lose or somebody take an L. But I think like with both of us, we both fighters that's really good fighters.
And that only adds fuel to the tension. Gervonta Davis dismisses Shakur Stevenson as his toughest challenge, questioning his overall impact despite the reputation he carries. He argues that Stevenson depends too heavily on movement without posing enough real danger, which could allow Davis to control the exchanges without ever being forced backward.
The hardest fight? No. Nah?
Wow.
Because he a good boxer. Like, that's one way I look at y'all two as the best in the division.
How? Show me something that he did spectacular. Show me something that he did outrageous. Show me.
Right.
His power not outrageous.
Okay.
What defense?
You think he got defense?
He just jumped back. You never see him slip no punch. You never see him slip no punch. Go look at it. You see him back up from a lot of people. Back up, move around. He don't got no technique. And his offense is the same thing.
That view doesn't go unchallenged. Sean Porter believes Shakur Stevenson's defensive approach would force Gervonta Davis into a very different kind of fight. He is convinced that power alone wouldn't be enough, instead turning it into a slow, tactical battle where every mistake carries serious consequences.
Shakur is a defensive specialist.
And I've been saying this for a long time. If you pay attention to how Tank would react whenever Shakur's name came up, I was like, yo, it's something that Tank knows that most people don't know or understand. There's something that he sees in Shakur. It could be the fact that Shakur was a 2016 silver medalist, you know?
He's got a lot to do with it.
He's that, you know, the silver child of the country. And, you know, there's no telling, but this is what I've always known. It ain't just a big straight left or a big right hook coming from Tank that's going to end that night. That night is going to be the most strategical you've seen both these guys ever be in a...
Now the focus moves toward action as Shakur Stevenson, already at the center of growing tension with Gervonta Davis, avoids escalating things outside the ring but keeps his position firm. He makes it clear that any disputes should be settled on fight night, further increasing the stakes for a direct showdown.
Do you ever think we'll see you in Tank? Realistically.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't really like talking about him.
Yeah.
Cause like the way that he move is goofy to me. Like it's some weird. So like I really don't like speaking on him. But like if anybody got issues with me or feel some type of way about me, you could come see me on fight night and resolve every issue that you got. Yeah. I stand by that with anybody.
But that criticism goes both ways. Gervonta Davis questions Shakur Stevenson's standing at the elite level, arguing that his style doesn't bring enough offensive threat to trouble top opponents. He rejects any notion of intimidation, insisting that a low-output defensive approach alone isn't enough to control fights at the highest level.
Shakur, what have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one is looking more better than him. Who that? The Keyshawn. Keyshawn looking way more better than this. So I keep screaming his name. He haven't done nothing. Keyshawn haven't even done nothing.
So what do you say to those who
I keep saying his name for?
And that's where small moments decide everything. Bernard Hopkins highlights Gervonta Davis's explosive timing, pointing out that every exchange creates openings on both sides. He argues that Davis thrives in those situations, striking first with precision before opponents even have time to react.
Carries the power. He's sneaky. Explosive. Yeah. You think you're doing something, and he rides off that overconfident. Where now he recognized this old school.
He's so interesting
Baltimore, Maryland. He's so old school. You know what old school is?
Yeah.
Anybody that throwing punches is open to get hit. Anybody and everybody that throw punches, you leave an opportunity. It's who get there first. It's like fencing.
Mm-hmm.
When you throw punches, no matter how straight, no matter how your stance are, when this becomes away from your body and things that you need to protect, the ribs, the chin,
there's always an opening.
It's always opening. Who get there first?
And Tank is so good.
Meanwhile, the discussion continues to build as reports and ongoing debate around a potential September clash between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis gain traction, signaling growing momentum that the fight could soon become official.
Man, and I am happy this fine Sunday morning as reports are coming out and debates are taking place about Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis.
Share your prediction in the comments. If you enjoyed the breakdown, leave a like and subscribe for more high-level boxing analysis.